What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Dudes Who Bet Daily for a Sunday as we round out the week. Papa Dude, you said right before we got on air you took a beating yesterday, so not a lot of good opinions yesterday from you.
No, it was a bad day. One of those days where everything you touched went wrong. I had a real nice
It's
parlay on the website,
Mhm.
and it came down to the Avalanche and the Flyers
Uh-huh.
in Colorado. When you felt pretty good about that,
Yes, yeah,
they got killed.
I know.
Colorado got killed. That was just one of those days. One of
Yeah.
those days. And when I went to bed last night, Gonzaga was in a good position and blew it. Didn't score hardly any points in the second half, and that's not like them. So
Yeah,
it's one of those days. So you bounce back today.
I know, and we've all had it. I think it was last week, one of the days. I can't remember. All the days run together when you do racing, but it was just like I had 4 or 5 listed down, and I could play. And of course, my best bet lost. And then
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you look back and you go, "Well, shit! Any of these 5 that I had on the list, they all lost." So it doesn't matter what I would have done. I'm just never going to hit anything today. So it's you definitely have those days. No matter how long you've done this or how successful you've been at it, you have those days where you look back and go, "I don't really understand what happened." And really, at Oakland yesterday. About 3 race stretch where I'm like, I never could have got to those horses. Yeah. And then some of the races, it's like, yeah, those were pretty easy. So it was kind of crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you got to talk about yesterday.
Oh, you want to talk about the Arkansas Oklahoma game?
Because Shoddy has brought this up. So, and you had a front row seat. So let's.
If you missed the show yesterday, I got a free ticket from my friend, and we were sitting 4 rows behind the Arkansas bench for the Arkansas Oklahoma game. Games played in Tulsa on a neutral site. By the way, a much better atmosphere than I thought. More Arkansas fans for sure, but we did have a lot of representing Oklahoma fans as well. Definitely Arkansas had us outnumbered, but it was a loud crowd for sure. But anyway, what Shoddy's referencing is Eric Musselman, head coach of Arkansas, gets kicked out of the game yesterday about 3-4 minutes into the second half. My buddy and I were watching him the whole game. We're like, he's going to get kicked out of this game. He was very close a couple times to getting a technical. And then finally, he just ran halfway across the court during a timeout and looked like we were watching him. I was like, oh, my God, he's going to hit the guy. He's going to hit this ref. And he didn't. But, yeah, they kicked him out immediately. So that was crazy. He's very entertaining. He was worth going just to watch him. He's a maniac over there. It was a fun game, and man, Oklahoma, they look really good.
They look good, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
They're athletic, they're mean, they're physical, they can shoot it.
Yep.
What don't they have? They've got everything. They've got a potential star.
Yep.
In McCollum, and then they have some other kids. Their point guard is really good. I think you were really impressed with number 2. I get him confused. Yeah. Is that Uzan or Awaya? What is it?
No, JV McCullough.
Oh, he's 2. I thought he was 12.
No, 12 is Ozay or Ozan.
I get those 3 mixed up. And that McCollum is good. He played at Siena last year.
I'm telling you, he is wow.
He has no fear.
He does all the little things as well. Like, man, oh man, they had no answer for him. He was fantastic in that game. Yeah.
And they're very well coached. Porter Moser does a very good job. And again, folks, it's not the coaching a lot of times. His first 2 teams have not been very good. He didn't have any players. You have to have players. He's got them. He went out and got him. The big kid from Pittsburgh has given him an inside presence to go along with the guy that they already had. They've got it all. Now they're gonna lose some games because they play in an extremely tough conference. The Big 12 is loaded. There's like 7 undefeated teams, I think, in the Big 12. This late in the season, that's pretty good. So
yeah.
And they thrashed a good Arkansas team. That's a good Arkansas team that's going to get better. They're missing some stuff. They're not together yet. They made them look bad.
Arkansas couldn't guard them. I think that was the big thing about it. And I think with the Razorbacks, they've got to learn how to run the offense, and that's what Musselman just kept yelling all kinds of words I can't repeat. Just why aren't we running our effing sets? He just kept over and over and over. He goes, "What are you guys doing?" Because we were talking. It's like, man, it's just a lot of one-on-one ball. And then when you see him down on the sideline, you're like, well, that's not what they're supposed to be doing. They're just doing whatever they want offensively. So he was super pissed about
that.
It
on the refs.
Well, yeah, and not just the refs. He took it out on the players pretty much the whole first half.
So he basically was frustrated at the players the whole game, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then just lost it. So it's a combination. He's mad at the refs that he couldn't get the team to do what he wanted them to do, so he just lost it.
Well, and to Christopher's point here, he said it was almost like he was trying to get run. He literally, what he got mad about, I kind of agree with Christopher. I think he did just want to get thrown out to try to get a spark or something, because what he got super pissed off about really wasn't that big of a deal. It was just kind of like a couple players kind of got in a little bit of a shoving match, and it quickly got separated. It wasn't any kind of big deal. And then all of a sudden, I think it's over. And then his ass just goes flying towards midcourt. And I'm like, what the hell's he doing? And so anyway, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Well, do you think in this days and times, a maniac like that, and he does this a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Over the long run, are those kind of coaches going the wayside, maybe going by the wayside? These kids can't react to that kind of stuff nowadays, you think? What do you think?
I will say, I don't know the answer. I will say I didn't see any of the Arkansas players get fired up about it or anything. They just kind of stood there and kind of watched him go off, and then they just went on. So I don't know. Maybe it could be a situation where that kind of stuff works for a couple of years. And then if it's one of those things, if you do outlandish stuff over and over and over, then it doesn't become outlandish. It becomes normal. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if it might be a little bit of that. I kind of told my buddy who's a big Arkansas fan, I said, we'll see if they get any kind of boost off of this. Cause you've seen that before. Sometimes a team will kind of get a boost when a coach does something like that, but there wasn't anything.
I was not home yesterday. I taped the game.
Mm-hmm.
You purposely, I think, knew that I didn't want to know the score because you never did tell me the score while you were there.
Well, once you told me you weren't home, I was like, okay, I'll quit.
Yeah. So I did the way from, you sent me the couple texts how well OU was playing defensively and stuff like that, which kind of led me to believe they were ahead.
Yeah.
So when I came home, I purposely didn't turn on ESPN, didn't look for scores or anything because I wanted to see it. And when that technical went off, I thought, this could turn a little bit. And it didn't. They got no spark out of that at all. Mm-hmm. So they just got it looks like a situation to me where they're pretty athletic, but when they get some athletes up against them, they didn't react very well. Mm-hmm. They got whipped, and maybe they didn't think OU was as good as what they are, because OU is not anywhere close to what they've been, but they got different guys.
Yep. Well, and to Christopher's point, I text you at the half. I said, man, OU has locked down defensively. And that's the thing. When you're on offense, you're not really running anything. You're just trying to beat OU one-on-one. You're going to have to be really good. And they were very athletic. OU guards are extremely athletic. And you mentioned it. They got two big guys they can rotate in and out, and that's helped a lot too. But, man, it's hard to get to the basket on Oklahoma, and that's kind of what Arkansas's kind of goal was. And, you look back and you go, man, Arkansas missed a lot of layups. They were heavily contested, though. They were not easy shots to make. So
and you've got a man in your face the whole time.
Yeah.
And you can't shake him. It gets frustrating. And the other thing Oklahoma's got is depth.
Yeah. Yeah.
They run guys in there, and you can't tell any difference between the guy they came in for and them. I mean, maybe a little bit when you take two out.
Right.
But the rest of those guys are interchangeable, and they look just alike. I mean, they come out and they're long and they're in your face, and they are tough to handle when they're playing like that.
Well, we had watched Arkansas on TV during Thanksgiving, with the family over, and I thought, God, they're so athletic. Yeah, they're not playing very well, but holy cow, are they athletic. they're no more athletic than Oklahoma. And that was the thing that immediately, as soon as we got there, watching them warm up, is like, okay, OU's got athletes finally, So it was impressive.
At least Musselman didn't tear his shirt off yesterday.
I know. Like I said, he was kind of fun to watch. It was pretty funny. I loved, being down that close and hearing what he's saying to the team, because it was hysterical. One time, I don't remember who it was. He's like, he went to some big guy. He's like, if I put you in, are you actually going to guard somebody? Because we don't have anybody guarding anybody out there right now. And I was just dying laughing.
It's kind of refreshing to see a guy talk to those guys like that.
Oh, yeah. He was not.
I'm going to let you get away with this crap, because I think that kind of coach may be going away. I don't know.
He kept going. He kept rotating the guys inside. Yeah. Of course, the kid from Springfield, he tried to play, but he was hurt, so they were kind of weak down there anyway. You could tell he just kept looking at the bench like, do I have one big kid that's going to guard somebody today? And so one time he put, I think, number 11 in, and my friend starts laughing. He goes, that ain't the kid that's going to guard anybody. I can tell you that right now. So it was kind of funny, because I was one Oklahoma fan in a section of all Arkansas people, and like I told you, I was not. The coach gave us the tickets, right? Yeah. So I'm not gonna be an asshole or anything, but it was the complaining was pretty hysterical throughout the game. They were so mad at how they were playing. So
yeah. So it looked like there were some empty seats, were there?
Oh yeah. No, it wasn't anywhere near full.
That's surprising to me.
How much does that hold? I don't even know.
I don't either.
Say it held 15,000. There was probably 9,000.
Really?
Yeah. Up high on the ends, there was hardly anybody sitting there. Down low, it was all full. But I mean, it wasn't. Like I said, I don't know how much that holds. It's a pretty big building, but it was a loud atmosphere for the amount of people. Like everybody that was there was really into the game.
I have to disagree with Curtis on his statement there. He said great players want to be coached like that. Great players don't have to be coached like that.
Yeah.
They don't. They don't have to be coached like that. That's why they're great. Your great players, they don't really like that kind of stuff. They really don't. The great players I've coached, they just do the stuff they're supposed to do. That's why they're great.
Right.
He's trying to make these other guys great, is what he's trying to do.
He's got players. He'll figure it out. I'm confident.
Figure it out. They're known for that.
Yep.
You don't want to be playing your best ball right now.
Yep. It's and maybe that's OU's problem, because I don't know how they
worried. OU's got North Carolina coming up. Not this week, but next week. The way they're playing, they're going to beat them.
We'll see. North
Carolina's not that good.
It's hard for me to think an Oklahoma basketball team's going to go to the state of North Carolina and win against North Carolina.
Yeah, I don't know where that game is.
It's in like Greensboro. It's a neutral site, but it's in the state of North Carolina. I can't see it, but if they might, but I can't. I'll believe it when I see it. How about that?
If they play like they did yesterday, they'll beat them.
I hope you're right, but I don't know. I don't know.
Well, how many were there from Arkansas, you think?
Probably 3/4 of the crowd.
That's pathetic.
Yeah. I mean, we had when they called the Hogs, they only did that twice, but when they did, you could tell, okay, they've got most of the people here. Yeah. So yeah. All right. Well, let's get to today. It was definitely a surprising that like I said, I knew about 12 hours before tip-off, 16 hours before tip-off, that I was going, and I went, and I was like, wow, that was a lot more fun than I thought it would be. So yeah, that was good. But let's get to today. Okay. We got a lot going on today. We'll run down now. We're going to go Buccaneers Falcons to kick it off. This is actually a pretty big day in the NFL. There's a lot of, I don't know if these games will be good, but they're very important games. Yes. And this was one of them. Mm-hmm. Falcons are 2.5-point favorite, total sitting at 40.5. All right, let's kick it off, Papa Dude. Who do you like?
I hope Tampa wins, because they'll be 6-7. Mm-hmm. The Falcons will be 6-7. And if New Orleans wins, they'll be 6-7, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Three-way tie in this tremendous division of football. That's what I'm hoping for today.
Yeah.
just because I want Baker Mayfield to win because he's one of my favorite all-timers, I'm picking the Bucks to go into Atlanta and win, but I wouldn't bet a nickel on the Bucks.
I picked the Bucks as well. I think it's more of a homer pick as well. I definitely think this is just a toss-up game, and I don't think either team's very good. Obviously, it's probably going to go under this total of 40.5. I kind of feel like if it goes under, the Buccaneers are going to win. This might be a game, and I know even last year the Buccaneers weren't very good, but they did win the division. It might be a game where they've got enough players left from those teams that won the divisions that they might be able to, outclass, so to speak, the Falcons. That's why I kind of lean Buccaneers in here, but it's a total toss-up. Yeah. Speaking of total toss-ups, what could have been, right? If you have two healthy quarterbacks, man, it's like this is going to be a great game in Cleveland today. Instead, you've got Joe Flacco for the Browns. You got a backup for the Jags. The Browns are 2.5-point favorites. I think that's strictly because it's at home. It's a total toss-up, unknown with the quarterbacks. Total sitting at 37.5. Who you got here?
Well, you kind of said it on our show Thursday. You like the Browns because they've been juggling quarterbacks the entire season.
Yeah.
Jacksonville's got to go to a total new guy. And so for that reason, I'm picking the Browns. And the fact it's at home. Yeah. I'm picking the Browns to beat them today because I don't know if Jacksonville can get a quarterback ready that quick when the Browns have been doing this all year.
Yeah, the Browns have started 4 different, or is it 5 now? 5 different guys, maybe? Let me count. No, 4. 4 different guys. Flacco was the 4th. Yeah, Joe Flacco.
He's elite.
It's unbelievable that Joe Flacco is in the league. I mean, it's incredible. And this is news to me. If Trevor Lawrence is going to play, now that would be, I don't see how he's going to be effective even if he plays.
If he's going to play, that line is going to change.
Yeah.
It hasn't yet, Curtis. I don't know.
Yeah,
I haven't heard. Curtis, you did mention that IU got run out of the gym yesterday, and you were absolutely right on that one.
Yeah, that was a really good one for sure. Be interesting to see what Flacco does here today. Second game.
That hasn't been announced yet, or that line would change.
Yeah, I'll do some.
Don't you think that line would change?
100%. I'm trying to look now if this thing's changed since 9:30 when I wrote it. It has dropped to Cleveland -2. So
so there is some, like Curtis says, there's some rumors going around that he's going to play.
He's still listed as questionable. Let's see what he's got on fantasy here. See if he's got a projected point. I'll look at that here in a second. Let's go to the next one. I'll research that one.
Yeah, everybody hold off on that one.
Yeah, we're both going Browns here, unless there's a miracle. I guess it wouldn't be a miracle, but unless Lawrence plays. All right, let's go. Eagles at the Cowboys, game of the day. Well, there's 2 games of the day. One's your best bet. We'll get to that one in a second. So Eagles, Cowboys here. Cowboys 3.5-point favorite. Total sitting 51.5. Huge game. Who you got here?
Yeah, I'm torn on this one a lot. Am I crazy to say the Cowboys are better than the Eagles right now? Right now.
No, I don't think it's crazy. No, I don't think that's crazy.
And then I get to thinking they gave up 35 to Seattle and barely beat them the other day. So that kind of brings me back to earth. I can't get that Eagles thrashing out of my mind the other day when the 49ers just went into Philadelphia and had their way with them. And the Eagles gave up a ton of points against Buffalo 2 games back. Are they having defensive problems? And you don't want to be having defensive problems against Dallas. They can put points on the board. But do the Cowboys lay an egg? Does Prescott not play well? Those are all possibilities. I think the total's about right. Yeah, I think it's going to be a really fun game. I'm looking forward to it. I don't look forward to NFL games much, but I'm looking forward. Can you see I'm beating around the bush?
Yes.
I'm going to go Eagles plus 3.5. I think Dallas may win, though.
I'm going to take the Eagles plus 3.5. To me, it has a 3-point game written all over it. So if I think that, you got to go with the team that's getting the points, right?
Yeah.
Could this game end 34-31 Cowboys? Absolutely. Could it be the same for the Eagles? Absolutely. So I'm going to take the team with the points plus the 3.5 with the Eagles. I think it'll be a hell of a game. And I think this is one of those NFL games that everybody should be very excited about because we haven't had a ton of them, but this is definitely one of them for sure. So, yeah.
I'm one of the few people that have lukewarm opinions on the Cowboys. I don't hate them. I don't like them. I mean, I don't care. And most people are just the opposite. They either love them or hate them.
So here's the latest on Trevor Lawrence. They said they are trying to get him ready to play. They are planning to play him, but will not make a decision until a pregame warm-ups, until he tests the ankle. It's a high ankle sprain. I would just be shocked if he plays based on what you always hear about high ankle sprains. They did say the backup is ready to go. He's taken most of the snaps this week in practice. So it's going to be a game-time decision there. ESPN projections for fantasy did have Lawrence at a 0. Now they do have him projected to score points, which means ESPN expects he will play.
There you go.
I would be careful to bet it until you know for sure one way or another. I would also be careful to bet it, again, with a high ankle sprain. Usually that's tough to come back from.
It
quickly.
Is.
So
it's the worst kind there is. So
yeah, will he be effective if he plays? Is he trying to tough it out? But he gets out there and it's like, oh boy, not sure. We'll see on this one. Keep an eye on that game.
He may start the game, but he may not finish.
Yeah, I'm pretty worried about that one. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see what happens.
He makes good sense again. Is Aaron saying the Cowboys have been a letdown in just about every big spot they've had since Dak has been there.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much. I mean, you could probably nitpick a game or two, right? But yeah, I mean that's a fair comment. Yeah, hard to argue.
Tell Dennis, he says he overslept. No, Dennis, we're an hour early.
We're early, Dennis. All right, let's get to it here. Let's go to the race of the day. Okay. Race 8 at Aqueduct. That's where we're going to go today. Kind of a sleepy Sunday is how I would describe it. No, I don't know why. Why in the hell is Oakland not running today?
They don't do that for the first couple of weeks, do they? They don't run on Sunday.
I don't get that. That's dumb.
I don't either.
Anyway, we're going to go to Aqueduct. We're going to go to race 8. An allowance going 6 furlongs on the dirt here, $90,000. The purse, Papa Dude, who you got?
Well, I don't know. You picked the best ones. I'll tell you, I thought this was kind of a toughie, unless you go with the favorite.
Yeah.
And I did. I just think that horse has the best record going. Very lightly raced, 4 races. Broke the maiden. Has come back with an allowance, a good second in allowance, and a good second in a stakes race, which I think is better than the rest of them. I think the horse could get the lead and stay there. I'm going to 9, White Chocolate.
All right, 9, White Chocolate for you. That's who I've got in the mix. I did not put the horse on top. I took a little bit of a price in this one. What about the number 4, Mongolian Panther? I thought this horse was interesting at 8 to 1. If you've been following Jacobson, his horses have been running pretty well right now, especially down at Oakland opening day. They ran extremely well. This horse was second last time out, almost the exact same race, and I think will kind of improve off of that effort, run better today, and get the job done. Listen, I like the 9 quite a bit, but I do think we can beat the 9, and I think we're going to take a shot here with the 4. So I like 4, Mongolian Panther on top. Debating on who to put with White Chocolate. I believe at the end of the day, I'm going to put number 3, Mercel. Rick Detro trains this horse. Last time out, winner by a neck and starter allowance company. Now we're moving up to the allowance ranks, but should be ready for this. So, yeah, I played around with it. I'm at 4, 9, 3 in this one. Did you think about the 3 at all, or the 4?
Did. I've got the 3. Would actually be my second pick, and the 9 would be, or the 4 would be my third. So. The 7, I'm having a moment. Could screw up everything too. So there's 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think we hit them all. So we'll see what happens. Should be a good race.
Yeah, and as I was talking, there is a late scratch. So this was not on the original scratch list. The late scratch. The 3 is out. Got scratched about 5 minutes ago. So let's not worry about the 3.
You got to throw the 7 up in there then.
Yep, I think you're right about that. Yeah, that's kind of the next one in kind of situation. Also, if you're playing Fairgrounds, news just came out there off the turf at Fairgrounds today. So there's another one for you. All right, let's get, let's see. Want to stick with racing, or do you want to go to your best bet? What do you want to do?
I don't care. It's up to you.
We'll stick with racing. We'll do these two real quick, and then we'll get we'll end it with.
You wanted to talk about this next on my bet anyway, so.
Okay. Well, all right. Gulfstream Park race 3s where I'm going today. Going to go with the the number 5 Golden Skull. This is another situation, just like yesterday when we got almost even money on Fly the W. He was going to be a short price. We knew it, but there was another horse in the race that was going to take enough money to give us a decent price. And so that's the case here. Number 5 Golden Skull on top for me. This horse won on debut. Last time out at this level was second, but close. Should have an easy lead today. First off the claim for D'Angelo, but Jaramillo rides through the claim. I thought that was a really good sign. So I think the 5 in the third at Gulfstream going to be tough. Going to try to take them gate to wire. The 3 is a horse that I think will get bet a little bit and to make the 5 playable. So I'm going to go number 5 Golden Skull. Magic's going to go to Fairgrounds once again today. He's doing pretty well at Fairgrounds this meet. I think he's 2 for 2 with his best bets. He's going to go race 1, the number 2 Macy on top for him today. This horse, coming off of 2 races at this level at Evangeline, won one of them easily, lost the other one by a head. Today he says, and there's going to be no speed in this race past the number 2 Macy. So he thinks Macy at Fairgrounds should be very, very tough to beat. All right, Papa Dude, go to yours.
Well, I don't know if you saw that or not, but Bree says the 7 is scratched also out of that race. So White Chocolate is scaring them all off, I guess.
But 7 is scratched now too. I didn't even see that. Yeah. Okay. Bree, at 10:25, literally 2 minutes ago, they scratched the 7 out of that race as well.
So White Chocolate just went down to 1 to 5.
Probably. Yeah.
So that race is tough to bet now.
So get this.
I like your pick even better, though.
At 10:15, they scratched the 1. At 11:16, these are Eastern times, they scratched the 3. And at 11:25 Eastern time, they scratched the 7 out of that race.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Well, I'm going to go to the Chiefs today to jinx them because I'm struggling. This is going to be a really good game, too. And it's an important game for both teams. Buffalo is playing a little bit better. They've had extra time to prepare, and they play well in the regular season in Kansas City. So this is a must game for them. If they win this game, they're still in the hunt. They lose, they're going to struggle. So it's a huge game for them. But it's a huge game for the Chiefs, too. They're going to win their division. They're going to make the playoffs. But that home field advantage, which is so important to them, to get the home field advantage in the winter in Arrowhead is so important. They lose this game and Miami wins, which they should. They'll have a 2-game lead on the Chiefs with 4 games to go. Now, the Chiefs do own the tiebreaker over Miami because they did beat them. So that gives them a little hope. This is a game the Chiefs have to win. They have to win this game because home field advantage means so much to them. By the way, Baltimore could go up 2 games on them too.
Yep.
I think we're going to see the Chiefs' best effort today. If we don't see the Chiefs' best effort today, there's something wrong with the Chiefs. Don't you agree? Don't you think they're going to bring it today?
You know what I'm going to say. My one pause about this is 1 point. Why? Doesn't this feel like they should be 3.5 point favorites?
Yeah.
Or 4? Yeah.
Yeah. It's true.
It's an odd line. I 1,000% agree with everything you said, your reasoning. Yeah, I mean, the Bills really need it, but man, the Chiefs do too. And the Bills have just not been playing very well all year, really for the year and a half now. I can't bet the Bills on the road in Arrowhead. I can't do it. But at the same time, the line is weird. And if you've watched the Chiefs and you've watched them, I know.
Oh, yeah. Every week.
Goodness, they're not very good.
No. And if the Chiefs were 10-2, I could see them maybe not quite being ready to play this one a little bit.
See, I agree. Yep.
But they're 8-4. Let's see. Did they play Monday night or was it Sunday night last week? Was it
They
Sunday?
played. It was Sunday night.
Okay, so
Yeah,
they were on the road, so that hurts their preparation a little bit because they had to
right.
fly back home. This is a game they've got to win. They have to win this game.
They really do. Yeah.
And I mean, I don't think they're going to get home field if they lose this game.
If they're going to make a run, they have to start winning games like this.
And I think they have to get home field.
They needed at least a round. Yeah. I could see them going on the road and beating one team. They're not going to go on the road and beat multiple teams.
They may not even get a bye.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think they'd have to finish first to get a bye, and I don't think that's happening. So
this is a huge game for them.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to play well. But I have watched them every week, and they've not played well yet. I don't think they've played a really good game yet.
Mm-hmm.
The offense is not the offense we've seen out of the Chiefs
Mm-hmm.
for whatever reason. And there's a lot of them. I don't think their offensive line's worth of shit. I think it's terrible. I don't think he has time to do much. I don't think he has. I'm talking about Mahomes. I don't think he has confidence in anybody but Kelsey.
Yeah. Well, that's clear. Yeah.
I just don't think, and everybody's on him a little bit. I don't think he's playing as great as he has.
Mm-hmm.
But he needs some help. He can't do it. It's one of those things, he can't do it all by himself. So
no,
they're going to have to turn it up today, and they're going to have to play well. And I think they've got some issues discipline-wise as well, too. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I took the Chiefs here. I think they're going to win. I still think they're the better team when it comes to comparing them and Buffalo. But man, they just have not played well. They have not really all year that you haven't seen them put it together. So we'll see. It's gonna be a big game. Like I said, if they don't win, they're pretty much
right. As Curtis says, it's exactly why I'm picking them, Curtis. I think their head coach is better.
Yeah.
And I'll take Mahomes against Allen, and they're at home.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost a slam dunk for me, and it's one of those things, if they don't win, I don't feel bad about it because they passed the eye test.
Yep. Pass the eye test. There we go. Now we're getting back to that. That was 1 week ago where the eye test was the buzzword on the show.
Passed the eye test, so that's the thing.
Oh, geez. We can't go down this road again. We just can't.
No, we're not.
By the way, OU passed the eye test yesterday.
Oh, there's no question about that.
I think, anyway, we're not doing that. All right. I was going to mention before that, Pacheco is out for the Chiefs.
That. Maybe so that affects that line.
I don't know how much that's worth, but it does. I'm sure it affects it some. I don't know how much. Maybe a point. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he is good.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. That is an issue. That's an issue.
Yep. Yep. So we'll see. But they really don't have. They don't use him that much anyway, I guess I should say, right? Like it's not like they give him 30 carries. Like they use him in weird spots anyway. So, yeah. Shotty wants to know what happened with the possession story. We haven't heard anything more on that. So,
does anyone know anything about Rob?
Is Rob? I did see Rob. I think Rob was in the chat yesterday, so he's alive.
That's good. That's good. He's always on the chat, but we are an hour early today.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, maybe he's. I'm sure he's still around. Rob is fine. Rob is alive. I have no idea if he's fine or not. I don't know. That was weird. So you don't know what we're talking about. Go watch the Dudes Who Bet Sports show and go watch. Oh, it was probably the last 15 minutes of the show. Yeah. Some strange things happened. So
we don't know if he's ever been fine.
Well, no, we don't.
He's been alive though. We do know that.
We do. Yeah, that's Rob's story to tell. We're not going to get into it. Right. So,
and he was very evasive on that story. He wouldn't get to the bottom of it.
No, and we tried to ask him details, and he kind of was just like, "Yeah,
I'm worried about him.
Give us something here and there, but not much." So, yeah, could be a big one. We'll see what happens. All right, let's get to the best bets, and we'll get you out of here for today. Maybe we'll talk about Rob and his story a little later. On next week. All right, I'm going to go Gulfstream Park Race 3, number 5, Golden Skull. Maggie's going to go Fairgrounds Race 1, number 2, Macy. Papa Dude's going the Chiefs -1 today. 5-4 for the week, down $80, still up $9.75 for the year. You know, we've done good the last, what do you say, 2 months probably, Papa Dude, of when one of us gets in a little bit of a slump, the other's kind of been there to pull them out a little bit. And
yeah, you have done that.
Well, and you kind of did that last week when Magic and I didn't do quite as well. So
all three get hot at the same time.
I know. If we all three get a win today, that would be great. But listen, as long as a couple of us keep going here, I think we'll be fine. Yeah, Curtis says, "Holy, Curtis, you need to go back and listen to the last, like I said, 10-15 minutes of Dudes Who Bet Sports." It wasn't a lot of sports, but we did talk about a certain member of this chat that has been possessed. So,
right. Curtis, you're not even close.
So it was pretty good, and honestly, it kind of hijacked the show. We kind of were like, okay, this is a lot better than anything we've been doing, so we'll stick with this for a while. All right, guys, we're gonna go. Thanks everybody for joining us. Everybody have a good rest of your weekend, rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you right back here next week.